Hey everybody, this is Jeff and I'm one of the editors here with SweetTake, and I've got a great tutorial here to show you how to maximize your efficiency when using Final Cut Pro's Log and Transfer tool. You know, a lot of times here at SweetTake we're getting more and more of our footage off of tapeless media formats, whether it be Panasonic's P2 or Sony's new S/S media. And all along you've been able to use Final Cut Pro's Log and Transfer tool for your P2 media, but until recently you couldn't use it for Sony's S/S media. You had to use Sony's own proprietary XDCam transfer tool, which really wasn't very good. It didn't integrate with Final Cut Pro very well, you couldn't send clips directly to a logging bin, and there were all kinds of other hitches that just didn't make it very fun or efficient to use. Well, not too long ago, Sony came out with a plugin that would interface with Final Cut Pro and allows you to log and capture Sony's S/S media directly with their log and transfer tool, just like your old P2 footage, which is just great because we get a ton of this stuff in, and we're really excited to be able to use the log and transfer tool for our S/S media. Now, this tapeless workflow is great and it's efficient, but it only is if you can use your tools to their maximum efficiency, and that means keyboard shortcuts. If you're clicking around on the mouse all day, you're not going to be fast and you're not going to be efficient. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you all the keyboard commands you need to know to use the log and transfer tool. Pretty much once you open it up and get your media mounted, you can let go of the mouse, you don't have to touch it again. You can fly through all your media using just the keyboard, do it really fast and efficient, and get on with your edit. So let's get started. First thing we have to do is we have our project set up here in Final Cut Pro, and our first command that you should know already is Command B to make a new bin, and we're going to call this our capture scratch. And then we're going to right click on that and choose Set Logging Bin, just so we can set that up. Now the next keyboard command we need to know is Shift Command 8, and that will open the log and transfer tool. You may already know that Command 8 is to open the log and capture tool. That'll be pretty easy then for you to remember that Shift Command 8 opens the log and transfer tool. Once we're in this tool, it kind of looks kind of familiar. It looks a little bit similar to the log and capture tool, but there are a few major differences. For one, this area is our browser area. Once we mount our media, this is where it's all going to show up. The second, this area over here is our queue right here. This is where the media will go when it's transcoding from S/S format into a QuickTime format. Here's a preview window with all our shuttle controls, and down here's the logging information. Once we're in the log and transfer tool, all we need is just to do a couple mouse clicks before we can really get moving. The first one is going to be right up here. This is the Add Folder button. This is where you're going to add and you're going to mount your media. And so we'll navigate to our folder here. We went out and did a shoot at a cool kind of go-kart place, so we'll get to check all that out. And here are our two cards that we shot on that day, EC1 and EC2. These cards were transferred to this hard drive from the camera, real kind of simple drag and drop kind of thing. All you need to do is select the folder that is directly above the BPAV folder, or you can select the BPAV folder itself. Either one, it doesn't matter, those are going to mount. Hit return to accept that, and there you go, the media pops right up. This is all the media that was on that card. See, there's all kinds of clips right here, and we went to this cool go-kart place that has guys flying around in go-karts, so this should be some kind of fun footage to look at. So let's go ahead and mount our second card. We'll go down here to our shoot, mount our second card, and there we go. Scroll down here, here's our second card. All the footage is mounted. You can see there it is, ready to go. So now from this point on, we don't need to use our mouse at all. I'm going to go ahead and put the pointer down here, and from here, this point on, we're going to use nothing but keyboard commands. Really fast, really efficient. First thing we need to know is how to navigate through the clips in the browser window. And to do that, this is kind of the tricky one that a lot of people don't know, because you can use these buttons here to click back and forth through those clips, but the keyboard shortcut is Control, Command, and your right and left arrow keys. Control, Command, right arrow, Control, Command, left arrow goes back, Control, Command, right arrow toggles you forward, Control, Command, left arrow toggles you back. And you can just kind of go through clip by clip by clip using this keyboard command all the way through all your footage. So let's go ahead and start here. Let's start right here at this kind of whirly ball thing. From there, you've got your clip loaded into the viewer. Now you need to just use your normal Final Cut Pro shuttle commands to log your clip. Spacebar will start playback. And your J, K, and L keys work like normal. I'm going to toggle L here to fast forward. I'm going to hit K to pause. And I'm going to toggle the J key to rewind. Spacebar stops and starts just like you're used to in Final Cut Pro all along. And of course, as you'd expect, I marks your in point, fast forward, and O marks your out point, just like you do when you're editing on a daily basis. So we'll go ahead and log that command there. Your up and down arrow keys will jump you to your in and out points, and your home and end page buttons will jump you to the beginning and the end of the entire clip. So now that your clip is logged with your in and out points, you need to give it a name, because the name that you can see there in the name field is useless for editing, so you need to give it a proper name. And to highlight the name field, all you do is hit the tab key. And you can see now the name field is highlighted. I can go ahead and give it a name. Whirly Ball. Now we've given it a name. Now we need to send this clip to the queue so it can be transcoded and placed into our Capture Scratch bin. And to do that is another familiar keyboard command, the F2 key. And there it is, F2. You can see it's transcoding, and once that's done, you're going to see it pop up into our Capture Scratch bin, and there it goes. Simple as that. So now let's go on to our next clip. Control, Command, arrow key. We'll go down, we'll find some pool tables. Spacebar starts playback, in point. We'll just get let a few seconds roll by here. Out point. Tab highlights the text. Give it a simple name. F2 sends it to the queue so it can be transcoded. Control, Command, arrow key, onto our next clip. And you'll notice the great thing about this is once you really get used to everything, you can start editing very quickly. And you don't have to wait for clips to stop, clips to finish what they're doing before you can go on to the next clip. So I'm going to go ahead and let this clip play. We'll mark it out. I'm not even going to stop playback. I'm going to hit Tab. We'll type in a name, we'll hit F2, and you can see everything is all happening in real time. I'm going to go ahead and Control, Command, arrow key onto our next clip. That's kind of a real short clip. We'll just let it go right on to the next clip. And we'll let that play. In point, fast forward, out point, tab highlights our name, pool table. It even gives you hot text on names that you've given it before, so you can really increment kind of quickly and make things go even faster. So I'm going to give it a name. F2 sends it to the queue. Control, Command, arrow key onto our next clip. You see playback never stops. It just keeps going. I'm just going to run right through this stuff. And if I wasn't talking and typing at the same time and I was paying more attention to what I was doing, this would all just be able to go super fast. Let's give this a simple name. F2 sends it to the clip. And now keep in mind, you can keep logging all in the same clip. I'm still letting the same clip play. Well, let's say I want a different portion of that master clip. I can just go ahead and give it a different name just like that. I'm going to tab this, area 2, F2 sends it to the queue, and there it goes in transcoded. Control, Command, arrow key. We're going to toggle down a few more clips. Just find something that looks interesting here. Okay, here's somebody talking right here. Set an in point, fast forward, out point, tab, give it a name. F2 sends it to the queue. Control, Command, arrow key onto the next clip. In point. Let it play through. And keep in mind, folks, this is just a simple FireWire 400 drive. That is, it's a portable bus-powered FireWire drive. Give this a name. F2 send it to the queue. It's a bus-powered 400 drive. It's and this is 720p HD footage that this is all running off of, and I'm able to play, transcode, and log and transfer all this stuff on a stock MacBook Pro in real time, just like this. And it is really great. You can see how quick it was that I flew through all those clips. Here's all the clips that I log and transferred, and here they are in my transfer bin. Now we're all done. We flew through all our clips. The last command you need to know is Command W closes the log and transfer window. And here we are. Here are all the clips that we just transcoded off of our FireWire 400 drive. They're all right here. using all the commands that we're used to. And there we are, we can get on with our edit. So you can see, once you know the keyboard commands, how quick and efficient you can be with the Log and Transfer tool. You can mount your media and fly through the entire card without touching the mouse once, making things go really smoothly, really fast, really efficient, and get on with your edit. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you can look forward to some fun logging time in the future. I always used to dread it, but now if you use more tapeless media and the Log and Transfer tool, it might not be so bad after all.